Here are your 3 tips for Chapter 6 of the text for SPC Music Theory. Tip 1. Understand the difference between interval size and interval quality. Interval size is defined by a number. It is 1, or unison, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8, which is an octave. More often, instead of saying an interval is the size of a 2 or a 3, we will say it is a second or a third. Interval quality is defined by a name of major, minor, perfect, augmented, or diminished. The combination of an interval size number and an interval quality name gives us the complete labeling of an interval, like a major second, or a minor sixth, or a perfect fourth, etc. Tip 2. Be careful not to mix up your numbers when determining interval size versus number of half steps. This can easily mix up students because with these 2 different situations, we have different starting numbers when calculating interval size and the number of half steps between 2 notes. When determining interval size, like a second, third, or fourth, your lowest note should be counted as number 1. For example, when comparing the note C to the note E above it, that interval is the size of a third, C being 1, and then D being 2, and then E being 3. When determining the number of half steps between these 2 notes, our starting note is 0. The answer here is that there are 4 half steps between C and E. C being 0, C sharp being the first half step, going to D for the second half step, D sharp is 3 half steps from C, and then E is the 4th half step. The chart on page 127 shows how scale steps and number of half steps work to determine an interval size and quality. Tip 3. Learn the predictable results of size and quality when inverting an interval. Close to the end of this chapter, you will want to learn how major intervals invert to minor intervals, how augmented intervals invert to diminished intervals, and how perfect intervals invert to perfect intervals. And the size numbers of an interval and its inversion always add up to 9. Remember, these videos are a supplement to the reading and do not replace the required reading you should do and the engaged thinking you should do through the workbook exercises.